Okay, Dean Miles, I got your work up here. Let's go and take a look at your process book in work in progress up. So let's go ahead and let's take a look here. Okay, contents. Like I said, work in progress, right? So there's some pages that are not complete. Get some. We need our images in here. Meet the team. Problem analysis. I'm not so sure this is an accurate problem analysis, guys. And let me tell you what I'm talking about here. Okay, so what is the problem now? Miles, we had this discussion a couple of weeks ago about deep dive and human-centered design, and you came up with this example of the mousetrap. Remember that? And we talked about redesigning a mousetrap, whereas deep dive thinking and human-centered design kind of takes a look at the redesign of a mousetrap and says, hey, let's not start by designing the mousetrap. Let's start by figuring out how the mouse got in there in the first place. And I thought that was one of the best kind of synopsis of design thinking and deep dive immersion, as well as human-centered design, that I've ever heard. And I've used that example in class after I heard you, so I hope you don't mind, but I think it's an outstanding example. So if we take a look at the model of your example and we take a look at and compare it to your problem analysis, we see a little bit of disconnect. And what I'm referring to is the fact that you're saying in your problem analysis in the process book, you're saying that you have your customers take a short survey, and then you're going to uh, see if they need a salesman. So immediately what you're saying is you're going to bring a salesman into the picture. Okay, and we don't want that. Remember, the problem is this. Think of a mousetrap. It's not designing a mousetrap, it's figuring out how a mouse got in there in the first place. What is the problem with the current way, the current process of car buying in this country? Right, and the problem is the high pressure sales. The problem is that it's not a human-centered design. It's not a user-centered design. It's geared towards the dealerships and the manufacturers. Okay, incentives are all towards them, not the consumer. We want to change that. That's the problem, and that's what you should address in your problem analysis. The way that we are accustomed to buying automobiles, the whole process is wrong. It's not. It doesn't take into consideration the needs of the consumer, and we want to change that. And that's the problem, and that's what you should address in your problem analysis. Um, so a problem analysis could be feasibly something like we're going to change. We are attempting. The problem is the way that we're accustomed to buying vehicles in this country, and then just describe it as I just did. It's more geared towards the dealership and the manufacturer. It's not human centered. It doesn't take into consideration the needs of the consumer. It's very uncomfortable, high pressure situation for the consumer. I know people who won't buy new cars just to avoid that situation. All right, so that's the problem. That's the problem in analysis, and that's how that should be addressed. Okay, we jump into research. Excellent, excellent. These are really long line lengths. This character count here is well over 100, I'm sure. I didn't stop the count, but remember, optimal typographic typeset indicates that line length should include a character count of in between 49 and 69 characters. That includes spaces and punctuation. So that indicates to me that this should probably be set as two columns as opposed to one long column. So you definitely want to address that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next page. Process. Probably really helping you. Yep, this is what I'm more talking about. This is more the problem. So you're getting into methodology and design thinking, but you haven't defined this in the problem setup, the problem statement. You want to definitely identify the problem statement as being an industry-wide issue as to the problems associated with buying and purchasing new cars. How objects are fixed and shaped. This is excellent. Then we jump into sketches. And sketches are great. This is really good stuff here. Holograph, excellent. Gallery walk, excellent. Okay, at this point right here, I would say we go to a page that describes what your solution is. So in other words, which one of these solutions are you going to use, or is it going to be a combination of both? And what I would recommend is you establish a page where you basically tell the story from the consumer's perspective. So in other words, I'm going to buy a new Volkswagen. What do I do first? Download the app, configure the car on my app, send it to the dealership. They send me a code where I can go in at my leisure to the dealership, enter my code, my information is recalled from the mobile app. Then I can make changes. I can send, once my changes, everything I want is done, I can print up a report. I can send that report digitally to the holographic projection or the VR headset, whatever the case is, right? And then I can take a look at my car. Full size, life size, I can walk around 360, look inside, look outside. I can make any changes needed. Then once that's accepted, we can send that to the driving simulator, and we can actually simulate. We can change the tires, we can change the road conditions, et cetera, right? And tell that story so the viewer knows. And this will come into play when you present this for your student portfolios, and also if this makes it to your final student portfolio in a situation where you're in a professional setting where you're being interviewed for a job. The hiring professional will be able to take a look at this and ascertain exactly what your intentions are. Okay. So yeah, just a page that's just summarizing the whole process in terms of what exactly does this process. So take a look at the consumer, the path, okay, that the consumer takes from downloading the app to making the final purchase. Okay, that should be a dedicated page, I do believe. Digital comps. So we have the gallery view, the touchscreen, and the hologram. So what's happening between here is what we're really interested in as well, okay? Mock-ups. These are good drawings, man. Wow, those are beautiful. Nice work. Okay, try to give a description here. What's going on? Okay, what are we looking at? And then I think this is just a really strong page. This, as I remember, is the final page from your configurator clickable prototype. This is the summary page. This is a great idea. So here's your projection, right? There's your car right back there. There's all of your options. You walk around the car and take a look at it. That's strong stuff right there. Excellent job. Okay, then we have, this doesn't work, guys. This link doesn't work. It's not a live link, so I can't access the prototype. So I apologize, but I won't be able to comment on that. So be sure that we have access to that digital prototype in your final solution, guys. Please don't want to miss that. Okay, so that is basically what I have, guys. Where am I right here? So Team Miles, yeah. So I'd like to see the prototype, but that's cool. I mean, I think I saw it last week. It's a good work in progress, but I do remember it wasn't complete. So. Make sure, guys, make sure you go through now. In the announcement for week 8, it shows you a list of requirements for it, the process book. Okay. Okay, so it looks like, okay, thank you, Kendall. Looks like we have to download instead of looking at this online. So let me just try to go ahead and do that right now. You know what? Let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go here. Let's download this. I should have thought of that. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. It looks like my computer's going to freeze up here. Okay, I'm having an issue here. So click here for our current process book. Now, this is just HTML text. Okay, so that's not going to work either. Sorry, guys. I'm going to put you guys on hold for 1 second. There's no reason for you to sit here while I wait for this to. Okay, it just opened. That's what I get when I download it, and so yeah. So we definitely want to provide a link for that. Let me see. Let me try one more thing. Okay, hang on 1 second. Okay, I did get it opened. I got the XT file open, so that's fantastic. Let's go take a look. So tell us about your lifestyle and needs, customize your Volkswagen, add option functionality. And how old are you? Excellent. Need an expert. Okay, good. How do you play? Excellent. How many passengers do you typically? Excellent. Style preference? Excellent. Particular climate? These are all really relevant questions. Excellent. I love it, guys. Good job. We recommend. Okay, so that's what we recommend. Now let's go ahead and configure, right? Excellent. Yep. automatic 8-speed. That's the only option, so I guess that's what we have. Visit the add-on wall. I'd like to see more options with that. I think that, let me see if I can do, okay, here's our pages. We have, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing more options in the configurator, at least to show like things like wheels and tires and luggage racks and interior choices, wood grain, things like that. It's not really terribly necessary. I think that we have a good idea of what's happening here. But yeah. So that's good. I think mostly we're concentrating on the questionnaire here. I think of all the pages we've got most of the pages are the questionnaire. So I wouldn't mind seeing a couple more pages as far as configuration goes. Okay, so that takes care of that. And then I think at this point, I think it would just be really important to back to that process book to just really get into a page that tells everything exactly how this whole process works. Other than that, I think you guys are doing fantastic. Questions, comments, concerns, clarifications, any of the above, please let me know, guys. I'll be in limited tomorrow, Saturday. I will be in Sunday. So if you have any questions, hopefully you can get them in here by Saturday morning. That way I can address them because I won't be in the studio tomorrow. It's my dedicated Christmas shopping day, so I won't be in the studio. I will be early in the morning, but that's it. So, so I will be able to address anything else Sunday morning, but we're due Sunday. So, all right, guys. All right, fantastic job. As I said, if you have any questions, just go ahead and post them. Thanks very much, Team Miles.